So, welcome to my course, Activate Your Telephone Line to Source. This is the very first video of the course, and it's a little introduction. Most of you probably already know some stuff about me, but because you're going to be working with me now in this course, I want you to get to know me because I'm going to be teaching you stuff. I want you to feel comfortable with me and kind of know who I am. And you already know from social media what I do and stuff, kind of. But who am I really? And why did I decide to do this course? So I'm 34 years old right now at the time of recording this in 2021. I don't know uh, at what point in the future maybe you are watching this, but right now it is March of 2021. I'm 34 years old, and I wanted to offer this course because this is information that has become part of my life, that is normal for me, and that has made my life so much uh, better. It has greatly enhanced the quality of my life, the way I live my life, the way I interact with other people, the way I interact with myself. And that is why I wanted to offer this course. So I'm 34 years old. Um, and as most light workers, I had kind of a difficult childhood. My parents separated when I was 5 years old. And looking back at it, I was already psychic as a child. I was highly clairsentient, empathic, feeling everyone's emotions. And I had a very hard time with that because I didn't realize that I was picking up everyone's emotions around me. I didn't know that at the time. And I'm also going to be doing something with children in the future, probably a course for children too, and parents, spiritual parents, something similar to this, but then pertaining to children and how we can guide our children and their intuition. But back to my story. My mom, she was always doing self development courses, workshops, spiritual classes. She did all kinds of different workshops and courses, has different certificates. She did trainings with all kinds of people. So I grew up in a spiritual household, knowing that spirituality was a normal part of life that was to be embraced. And from a very early age, I started channeling my own spirit guides, automatic writing. I learned all kinds of different meditation techniques, different ways of channeling, perceiving energy. So I learned all this stuff growing up, either from my mom or different teachers and mentors that I took classes with. I was always the youngest person in the room. Whenever my mom would take me to one of these classes with her, I was always the youngest person there. And now I know that that is because I was supposed to become a teacher myself. I was supposed to gather all this information and put it out there for you to learn this from me. And that is why I'm super happy that you're here, because I'm making this for you. I'm making this class for you so that you can learn what I have learned, and so that you can maybe pass it on to somebody else, and on or to your children, or just use it in your life to make your life the best it could possibly be. And so yeah, where do I get my information from? My information, I work mainly with Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, and my own spirit guides, and also just straight source energy. So that is what I am usually, and Mother Mary. And yeah, so I work with different Ascended Masters, Archangels, and my own spirit team and source energy, and that is where I get my information from. So that's a little introduction to who I am, where I get my information from. I will be talking in this course about, let me just break down what we will be doing in this course. The first big chapter is all about opening up and receiving, basically opening up the line, the telephone line to source again, clearing the line. How do we perceive information? We have to have a channel opened up first to be able to receive information. So that is what we will be doing in the first big part of the course. The second big part of the course is all about removing blocks, clearing the channel, and psychic protection. So that's two major big parts, because you want to open up the line, but you don't want to let everything in. You want to have a clear line that is cleared of blocks, that is crystal clear to receive the best information possible, and you want to protect yourself and your energy. So that is what we will be doing in this course. Now, that was the little first introduction. Let me go to the second part of the first part. This is going to be a first part that's divided into a few parts. So the first part after this is going to be about recognizing intuition. So how do you recognize your intuition? Okay, now recognizing intuition, because I know a lot of people start out and they say, okay, I want to learn how to use my intuition. I want to learn how to receive information from my higher self, from my spirit guides, from source energy, but I'm not sure if I'm just making this up or if this is real. Maybe this is just my thoughts, maybe this is real, and they're afraid of trusting their intuition or what is coming through, because they have no way of knowing if this is real and what is coming through is real. There are a few different ways for you to discern whether what you are receiving is truly intuitive and is in alignment with your higher self, or if it is your ego voice and just something, a voice of like that's talking in the back of your mind. There are some few tips and tricks. Like, what does alignment feel like in the body? Think of the feeling you get when you do something that you're really passionate about, something that you do where your brain is turned off. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's going for a run, maybe it's crocheting, maybe it's reading a book, listening to music. Focus on that feeling you get when you're doing that. That feeling, just try to hold on to that feeling, and then try to copy that feeling. And like, how does that feel in your body? What does that feel like in your body? And then when you ask a question and you receive the answer, does that answer feel similar? Does it feel like that free flowing, carefree, just flow vibration of those passionate activities where you feel so good? Does that answer feel good to you, or does it feel different? That is one way of discerning what intuition feels like. How to pay attention to your body. What does your body feel like? That is a really good indicator of whether you are hearing your true intuitive voice. Your telephone line basically has a clear connection, or the telephone line is distorted and it's the ego voice trying to basically tap into the telephone line, because that won't feel good. That will not feel like a flow thing. That will feel constricting. So that's one way. You can also do a simple yes no question. So what do I mean by that? Like, you're in the car and there's two ways that you can go to get home, and you're not sure how to decide. That's just a simple trick how you can practice intuition, because that is also how do you recognize your intuition, by testing your intuition, by practicing your intuition. So like when you're at the store or in the car or wherever, and you're like, okay, I can go this way or that way, which way do I go? Do I go right or left? But then, like, use a simple yes no question. Say, okay, should I go right, yes or no? The first thing that pops in your head, yes or no, that's what you have to go with. That is your intuition. Because anything that is longer than, like, that takes over a second to form in your mind is an ego response, and that is not going to be an intuitive response. So you're driving home from work or something, and you're like, okay, I can go right. Should I do that? Yes or no? And if you hear no right away, then do it. Then just don't go that way, because maybe there's like a whole traffic jam or something. And if it takes you a while before an answer comes, then your ego is trying to basically do the talking. And then you should just try again and immediately go with what comes through. Trust with what you're receiving. And if you can't get yes or no, if that's too difficult, too abstract for you, and you're more of a visual person, then try to visualize traffic lights. So we're going to program your mind in advance, and you're going to say, okay, now I'm visualizing a red traffic light. And if my intuition is trying to tell me that it is not a good idea, that something is not for me, that the answer is no, then I want to be shown a red traffic light. If something is good, if something is in alignment, then I want to be shown a green traffic light. So focus on these two lights for just a second and keep them in your mind. Red for no, green for yes. And then you can try again with questions. And like I just said, okay, we can try this with driving home from work or whatever, but you can try this with different things in your life. Like you want to learn to really listen to your intuition. So, for instance, you're trying to change your diet, and you know that you're not really eating healthy, and you have this chocolate muffin or something that you're holding. You're like, should I eat this? Yes or no? Is this a good idea for me? You kind of know it's not a good idea, but so that means it's a good thing to try, because you already know the answer, and you can just try it out. Try these things. Just ask your subconscious, should I eat this? Yes or no? And if the green light immediately appears, it's your intuition saying don't eat this, because you were already saying, okay, don't eat this. um, well, no, my question was all weird. Or you could say, because that could also mean you should eat it. No, you could say, okay, I don't think I should eat this. Am I right that I shouldn't eat this? Green light, okay, I shouldn't eat this. Or just something else, like, okay, I have this job opportunity. Like your boss is wanting to give you a different job. You're not sure if you should accept the promotion or if it's for you, because you're not sure if this is something you want to do. Ask your intuition, is this a good idea? Yes or no? And if immediately you see the green light, but then there's that ego voice that's like, oh, no, 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 I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but your intuition was actually saying yes, you should do this. That's what I mean with learning how to hear the voice of your intuition, because right away, often our ego voice wants to talk over the intuition, and then you're not even going to hear the intuitive voice anymore because the ego is way too loud, and then you're busy listening to the ego voice. So, back to trying to feel in the body what intuition feels like. You're really going to feel intuition in your solar plexus chakra. So you focus on your solar plexus. Just focus there. And if you have two options about something like the job situation, the muffin situation, or an old friend, I'm just saying, an old friend that messages you and wants to meet with you, and you're not sure if you should hang out with them, if it's a good idea or not, ask your intuition. Ask maybe the like, do the green and the red light thing, yes or no thing. But if none of those are working, take your time, slow down to really receive your intuition. Take time to slow down, to really listen to your body, and really take 30 seconds to a minute, and you have your two options, and sit with each option. So the option of you saying, yes, I'm going to meet up with you, sit with that for 30 seconds to a minute. Close your eyes and just sit with that, and go through the whole visualization of you meeting with your friend. And how does that make you feel? Focus on your solar plexus. Focus on how did that make me feel? Meeting with that friend. Did that make me feel physically elated? Did I feel free, relaxed? Was it a relaxing feeling? Or was it a tense feeling? Did my solar plexus feel constricted? Did my body feel constricted? Did I feel tense? Did I get a knot in my stomach? And sit with the other option too. Do the same thing for 30 seconds to a minute. Sit there and focus. No, I'm going to say no to this friend. It's not about them, it's about me and not wanting to do it. How do I feel?